Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Champions Cup, the Sharks versus Toulouse. This is a game that has been talked about, I think, more than any other Champions Cup fixture, mainly from South Africa, and that is due to a certain player making his way to South African shores, I should say. I'm very excited for this game. Sentences are hard. This game is going to be a very entertaining one. Looking at the table at the moment, Toulouse have been dominant in their first two games. 2 wins from 2 with a points differential of plus 83. For the Sharks, they have won one game, they have lost one, but they got 5 points in total. And if they were to somehow cause a massive upset here, it will put them in a great spot heading into the next round. But looking through at the starting lineup, 3 notable names that are missing here for the Sharks. No Ebenezebeth, no Apalele Fasi, no Andre Esterhuizen. So that could be a massive difference maker. They already came in as underdogs, but not having those 3 Springbok stars could be just a little bit too much of a mountain to climb, but still a great side. Oxnishia, Bongi Umbanambi, and Vincent Cock, all Springbok front row for this matchup. Corne Rao and Jason Jenkins in the locking joy, with Pepsi Buthelezi at 6, Emmanuel Chichuka at 7, and Sia Khaleesi as the number 8. Jaden Hendrickse and Jordan Hendrickse will be the 19 combination. The brothers in that channel. Francois Venter in the midfield alongside Ethan Hooker, with Makazole Mapimpi, Yapinke and Kunini at number 15. Now, Hakeem Kunini, this is a massive game for this young man because, you know, normally there would be Apalele Fasi, and he is extremely solid at the back. And now you've got a guy who many people may not even know, and he has to go up against Thomas Ramos in that 15 jersey battle. Going to be interesting to see how he ends up going. But in the Toulouse side, this is very much almost a South African international team versus a French international team, with some of the names that we're seeing throughout these sides. Neti Malvache and El Diegri as the number 3, Flamand and Miafu as the locking duo, with Cruz, Challenge, and also Jack Willis, I should say, as the number 8. Antoine Dupont, the man that everyone's been talking about. He's in South Africa, the first time in 8 years that man has gone down south. But he's a very different player. He's got a lot of accolades since that 8 years ago. And on the outside, Roman Intermac. That guy is good enough by himself. But everyone has been talking about the 9 jersey rather than 10. There are also some world-class backs in this lineup. Santiago Shoka Perez, we've seen what that man's been able to do for Argentina as of late. Barassi at 13 with Lebel, Blair Kinghorn, and Thomas Ramos at number 15. Right, we've got the chat. Southern France gets really hot as well, so it won't be a thing in terms of the temperature. This game is going to be played in a little bit of a hotter condition than some other places that the Champions Cup games are taking place. We have got there, how much will Bordeaux win by? I think they're going to get themselves a good win over the Chiefs. It's just more of a question of how much they can. I'd say like 15, somewhere around there. Perhaps could be on the cards, but looking through at the benches, these guys could be the difference makers. Lorenzo Julius coming off the bench at 23. The youngster Bradley Davids, massive chance for him, seeing as Grant Williams is also missing. And then for Toulouse, I mean, Juan Cruz Malea, Capuzio, Julio Marchand, Sirobai, a bit of money in this Toulouse side, and they do not want anything less than a Champions Cup trophy. And from their first 2 games, they are looking in great form. Currently, the way that it sits in the Champions Cup, they were able to get themselves a 40-point win over Ulster, and then getting the 43-point win over the Exeter Chiefs the week after. They have had 3 games since then in the top 14, but they haven't had the most success in recent times. A draw up against Lyon, they were beaten by La Rochelle, but they were able to beat Stade Francais. Now, home field advantage in the top 14 is such a prominent factor when it comes to results, and I feel like that's the perfect example of it there. Normally for the away games, you send a bit more of an experimental side, but they've gone all out for this match. And South Africa, it's as if they're really trying to make a statement to claim that number 1 spot in the group and just continue to go from strength to strength. For the Sharks, they have had 2 games of the Champions Cup. They were able to beat Exeter Chiefs in their first game, 39 points to 21. The second game up against Leicester, everything that could go wrong did go wrong. in that game. 56 points to 17, not their best work, which is why their points differential, even though they got a good win in their first match, isn't sitting as nicely as it could be. But they were able to get themselves the win over the Bulls just before Christmas, defeated by the Stormers pretty close after Christmas, starting a new year. It's a clean slate. It's a new opportunity, but they're going to have to play well. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a big one. Can we put France and Rice after the game to dry them out and fix them? Says Martin there. Are you showing full game? Says Adrian. Due to licensing, anything that's shown on YouTube gets you taken straight down, whether that's audio or the visual of this game. But we will be doing the play-by-play commentary all throughout the game. Compliments for the New Year's, mate. How you doing, says Regine. And Happy New Year to you too. Doing very well. Excited for this game. Like I said, everyone has been talking about this match all throughout the week. It's been DuPont versus South Africa, but when you look throughout this Toulouse side, there are a lot of players, I believe, that people are underestimating. Even if DuPont has a mid-level game or a poor game, there is still more than enough ability in this Toulouse side to still win comfortably. But this resilient Sharks side, this is a side that we've seen struggle at times in the URC. They've managed to find a way back into it. The Challenge Cup, they were the champions. So, you know, they've had some pretty tough games before, but like I said, no Etzebeth, no Fussy, no Esthazen, and also no Grant Williams for that super sub kind of impact, whether that's in the starting lineup or, like I said, a super sub. It's going to be a tough one. Both teams as match winners. It's going to be a great game, says Regine there. Yeah, this game has so much potential for being a great match. To lose by 20. Says Sean, and we're back, says Real. We certainly are, and we've got a game later on tonight as well. Castra taking on the Bulls. That will be the third game that we are covering in a row. So, of course, be sure if you are new to hit that subscribe button. This is going to be a humdinger, says Regine there. I should mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, let me know your score predictions for this game. Who do you think is going to win, and what's your score prediction? I am going to lose by 17. Sounds harsh. Family reason for Grant Williams not being there, says Sean O'Farrell. But yeah, the absence of four great players, Upperlily, Fussy and Estes, and both getting injured in that game up against the Stormers, I believe, was when we saw both of those two end up going down. But Kunini at number 15, he is one of those guys that, you know, like you're 21 years old and you're getting chucked up against what would be debatably the best club side in the world. Now, some people, like I said, they would challenge that. They'd say maybe not. But in terms of their own competition and the way that they've been able to really thrive across the board, like it's hard to argue. They've got a world-class side. Any gap that they've got where it isn't a French international, they've chucked an international from another country in, whether that's Chocobarez or Kinghorn. But yeah, it's going to be a big one. Sharks by 10, says Cornelius. I like it. I like the optimism. And I like the fact that the Sharks supporters in this game still feel that their side have got enough, because they have got a great side. And they've been able to cause big upsets in the past. We've got to remember, the Challenge Cup, they weren't supposed to win that competition because they were sitting near the bottom of the URC. But they just kept going, kept fighting, kept working hard. They're going to have to work hard in this one as well. Sharks short of talent for this game to lose by 15, says Stefan. Go boys, says Elton. Just showing that bench. I mean, Julian Marchand, he is there. Juan Cruz Malia, Capuzio. They've got a lot of informed players. To lose all the way, says John MC. And go the Sharks, go, says World Champs twice. We're just about to get underway for this match. And also, while we are at it, we might as well, we did a score prediction. Let me know who you think is going to score the first try of this match. The exact player that will be able to get over the try line first. For me, see, I think that the Sharks will score relatively early, but I do think they'll score the second try. So I'm going to say that it's going to be, I'm going to go Matthias Lebel. I think he's going to be able to get through Yapinke out on that wing and get that nice early try. And Jack Willis, that annoys some English fans that they couldn't pick outside of England, says Sean O'Farrell. Please show the log, says Cornelius. So for this group, this is the way that the table sits. Toulouse at the top of the bunch with the points differential of plus 83, which is huge for just two games being played. One of them by 40, one the other by 43. Bordeaux in second, so the French side's actually really thriving in this group of the competition. Leicester Tigers, they are playing up against, I believe they play, who are they playing? They're playing someone today, Ulster, I believe it is. So that will help determine a little bit more on the group. And Bordeaux and Exeter, they are currently playing, or they will be at the same time as this one does take place. We have there, thanks, mate. Flow Rugby or Live TV. Does anyone know where to live stream? Yeah, Flow Rugby is a good option. If you're in Europe, there are a few free options around. And Leicester versus Ulster, says Gaza, and there as well. A big opportunity. A lot of young players throughout these two lineups. Antoine Dupont leading out his Toulouse side. People have been debating all throughout the week whether or not he's regarded as the GOAT of current rugby. But the argument was he may have been able to conquer the North, but he has not experienced the South in a long time. And this will be the first experience of that. The mighty Sharks, there's Simon. And I'm back. Had some coffee and eating salt and vinegar chips, says Ruth. What does that do to the taste of the coffee? Does that make it different that you're having like salt and vinegar chips alongside it? Or is the coffee like the palate cleanser that then makes you taste it each time a bit better? Sharks are the best. We will move to the top, says Elton. Luke Pearce will be the referee in charge of this game as well. I should mention Sharks don't have a pre-Hamish, says Kevin. Sharks 19, Toulouse 9 is Anthony's prediction too, because France don't bring their best team on Southern Hemisphere tours, says Geza. That is true, but this time Toulouse have. They have chucked their very strong side out there on the field because they want to win this game comfortably and they want to continue that Champions Cup group stage dominance. Right, the black and gold for the Sharks. Jordan Hendrickson will be kicking off this one in this match. It is hot, it is humid. Makes everything taste better, says Grant. Nicely taken here for Toulouse inside of their 22. The Sharks have to muscle up early. I was man of the match for the Stormers. I think it was Watercalant, but I could be wrong. How long to the first try? I don't think we're going to have to wait very long. Maybe 5 minutes, if not maybe less. But a good clearing kick downfield for Toulouse. I think Toulouse will win it easily and certainly won't lose, says Kevin. I'd say in 15 minutes at most, says I am nutty. And also we have got there Sharks 33, Toulouse 17 as Andre's predictions. Now, Bongi Umbanambi throwing the ball in, nicely claimed by the big man Jason Jenkins. Sio Khaleesi, his first carry goes off to Jaden Hendricks, a flat run forward from Ethan Hooker. Not having Andre Esterhuizen in that midfield means that they need someone else to really play that battering ram role. Run it straight at Shocha Perez and Barassi all day. Now Hendricks going to the short side. A little bit of a switch play there from the Sharks. Going blindside. Hawks Nushier as his ankle's chopped out from underneath and the ball goes backwards, says the referee. So it will be play on Ethan Hooker. Has the option on the outside to Sio Khaleesi. Tackled by Antoine Dupont. The captains come together. But not in that way. Now going off to the right-hand side to the youngster, Hunini, 21 years of age in that 15 jersey rather than Fussy, who is injured. Vincent Koch, 40 metres out from the line. Yeah, Hendrickson goes back to Hendrickson. The brothers linking up past our wide, look close to 4, but Emmanuel Tichuca has dropped it anyway. And it will be the line out for Toulouse. We have got the donation, or sorry, not the donation, the membership there from on the right. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. You now have access to those emojis on the channel. For such a big game, the Sharks fans can't fill the stadium. I heard it was sold out, though. So maybe it's the case of being sold out and then they've just decided not to go because of the heat or something. But yeah, I heard that it was sold out for this match, but it doesn't look it at the moment. Sharks City to Toulouse's 22. Crowd sounds good. How many are there so far? Looks like a decent amount, although up the top, yeah, that's certainly not sold out up there. Oh, big shot coming in. Now Antoine Dupont gets it off to Malwak, and there's the line break. Dupont receives the inside ball very early from Malwak, and no options but to pass on the outside and can't quite link up with Blair Kinghorn, so that will be the line out now. But early chance after an injection of pace and power through the midfield of Malwak, getting through his opposite number, Umbanambi. Then just Dupont versus about 7 players. Didn't have much of a passing option and goes a bit too hard to Kinghorn. Hey, people in Durban hate sport. Just here for the comments for a while. I don't care who wins or loses. Toulouse prop's not the best, says I'm nutty. And that's where I do think that the Sharks have got the advantage, where they've got that all-Springbok front row. It's got the chemistry. It's been together at international and at domestic level. Nicely claimed. In the line out, here comes Auxnesh, another big run. Tackled by Anthony Gelange. And come Sharks, eat the cocks. It's an interesting way of wording it, Andre, I will say. Now, Kinghorn slaps it back. Dupont picks it up, passes across to Thomas Ramos. So many X-Factor French players across this side, but the Sharks have to make sure their defence is solid from the get-go. Afternoon just wanted to support the channel, and it is greatly appreciated, mate. And yeah, hopefully you do enjoy some of those emojis that we have got. We definitely need to add a couple more at some point, I would say. Beautiful offload there. Jack Willis. Jaden Hendrickson, though, looking for the turnover. Lost his footing. Here comes Dupont. Gets round 3. No, a little bit of obstruction. 13 taking out number 12. So that is against Barassi, which causes the penalty. Tired of the French crowing and crying. So instead you want to eat the cock. Here you go. That's the spirit. Are they still on the bench? Says Andre. Now Jordan Hendrickson. And I put that ball into touch. Why would Durbanites hate sport? Yeah, just a change of line there from Antoine Dupont. Ended up pretty much putting Barassi in no man's land. Now line out here for the Sharks. We see Santiago Chochavarez, the man on the inside. 5 minutes in already. Went to the same school as Bongi. Says Andre. St. Albion's go, lad. And Froggy's off to a bouncing start. Now Umbadumbi 22 metres out from the line here for the Sharks. They need to get this line out right. And they've overthrown it. But the referee in the way of Malvaka, which means that the Sharks get the ball back. Little bit of luck there. Positioning of Luke Pearce working in the favour of the Sharks. They will go back for the penalty. I don't think Malvaka's too happy about it, but the penalty goes against Roman Intermac, taking the quick tap there for the Sharks, trying to get off to a flying start here. Willis gets over the ball, but he has lost his footing. Another penalty. Possibly looking to an emoji for celebrating tries. I think we've got the try emoji, but I'm thinking about adding a different one. Okay, they've just said there it wasn't cynically stopped by 8, so that is why it's not a yellow card. Love Kings Park, best stadium in the world. I actually would really like the Sharks to win this. French going to be hot at halftime, says Cool Story Bro. But once again, we're going to see Jordan Hendrickson kick this ball towards the touchline, and he's kicked it dead. So that's the last thing that they needed. I'm South African, but even I know Toulouse is going to win this one. Simple science there, says Knowledge. Although I don't think that the Sharks have been told that they're supposed to lose this game. They've actually started quite well. But it's whether or not they can keep the momentum once Toulouse score. Because as soon as you see one Toulouse try, like we've seen in their other games, they normally score try after try after try. So, yeah, in this case for the Sharks, they have to make sure not only do they score the first try, but they have to keep on going. Humidity is a killer. Says Andre, nice pass on the outside. Jordan Hendrickson, Yapinke drops it to the boot. And it's a good kick. It's going to stay in the field of play. Roman Intermac, I think his foot was out. Off 10. So this is going to be a Sharks line out now, or is it? Roman Intermac, yep, no, it is going to be a Sharks line out again. Watching here for the first time since my father passed away on the morning of Christmas Eve. I'm sorry to hear that. Sandra, my condolences for yourself. Sound like a frog in the throat when you pronounce some of these French names, pun intended, says Bruce. Now, it's going to be thrown in. Going off Dupont. Wrestled down. And 33 Phil, even though it's only 28. Someone's got to try somewhere, says on the right. I mean, Bordeaux are playing the Exeter Chiefs. They could have scored already, to be fair. They are very good at scoring tries. Toulouse for the win. Feeding frenzy, blood of the water, try coming, says Andre. Nice run forward from Yapinke. Jack Willis again trying to get that turnover, but loses the footing in the process. Vincent Koch goes back across to Jordan Hendrickson. Gets through one. Tries to look for the offload, and there is the knock-on from Emmanuel Tuchuka. That is his second handling error of the day. Toulouse have been having a great season, but this is by far their best squad. Sharks are missing a couple of first-team powerhouses. Roman Intermac kicking it in behind, looking for a bit of territory. Oh, letting the ball bounce. That's a massive mistake from the young 21. And it's a 50-22 for Roman Intermac. Kunini, he thought he'd be strategic, wait for the ball to bounce and then claim it. But the ball had different ideas. And Toulouse have gained maybe 60 metres from that kick. Leinster versus La Rochelle. I think that's the most exciting match of the weekend, your opinion? I think it's certainly going to be a good one between the sides, and I do want to cover that one on the channel as well. I do think that another close game could be Saracens-Munster. A little bit of an underrated one, just because both sides are pretty evenly matched. But yeah, La Rochelle-Leinster, how many times have we seen those two sides go head-to-head in the Champions Cup? And most of the time, La Rochelle are the ones who get the better of them. Right, only a couple metres out from the line now. Toulouse with an opportunity. Antoine Dupont fires the ball up here. Now, cross to Santiago Jorge Barres. Looking short side, flat ball and over. Toulouse score, and it is the big man Emmanuel Miafu who has got a 5 already. Says Cold Story Bro, La Rochelle are not the same without Skelton. And on the right, you're watching the most exciting match of the weekend right now. Says Knowledge, and Toulouse haven't come to lose. That is an assist to Antoine Dupont, although saying that it is only a few metres out from the line, but he still found a great attack and run coming from the big man. Gets over the line and scores early. Fantastic commentary, Hamish. Says Roof there, thank you very much. Yeah, the big man. 10th try in Champions Cup career. Normally, anytime they're close to the try line, you just chuck that man at it and hope that he makes his way over. But that will be disappointing for the Sharks. They had a great opportunity down the other end of the field. Missed kick for the corner, which then led to Toulouse getting the ball, and then a massive kick downfield from Intermac to get that 50-22. So about 3 mistakes coming from the Sharks in a row, and that led to 7 points on the board now for this Toulouse side. The Sharks are nothing more than cannon fodder for this French team, says Kevin. And Sharks teeth necklaces for Toulouse, says I am nutty. And there's like they say in Trevor Nakanya, a little bit slow. Wait. Trevor Nakanya, who's he in for? Oxnash's on the field. Maybe that's for Vincent Koch. Possibly. I don't think I've seen Vincent Koch as of yet. We will see. I hope the Sharks can win, but I'm not too optimistic, unfortunately, says On the Right. And great try, I'm happy so far, says Roof. But it's going to be kicked off now. Down to Miafo, who is inside of his own 22 this time, rather than the opposition's. And still going, Mohuaka manages to find another gap, offloads to Dupont. It's gone through his hands and gone backwards. Will be play on. Loose ball, no, they have called it as forward now. And thank you, everyone. I've also enjoyed the commentary here. Says Sandra. Great try, I'm happy so far. And French Flair, says Ruth. We're already 11 minutes in. This game is going to absolutely fly by if both teams are going to play it at the temperament that they are at the moment. Yeah, I believe Trevor Nakanya actually in that front row, is he? No, that looks like Vincent Koch. I think they've confused Trevor Nakanya with Oxnashare. The female commentator before said Trevor Nakanya was a bit slow getting into position, but he's not even on the field. I assume she meant Oxnashare. That was a little bit of a brain teaser that we had to work out. But we've got it worked out now. That's the main thing. Now the scrum. Opportunity here for the Sharks on the halfway line. They're just talking about the fact that the new rules mean that the defending scrum half cannot go beyond the middle of the scrum anymore. A little bit of something to try and protect the halfbacks from those early shots. I believe that one's gone against Netty. Yes, it has. So a free kick. Now the Sharks are just going to send this one to the sky. And Kinghorn beautifully taken under the high ball. Driven back towards his own 22. And Sharks stand no change today. Or no chance today. Says Ben Lowe. Are you able to show the live score for 2 games at the same time? Says On the Right. I can't with the software I've got, but I can give you the updates of the other one. If you're talking about Bordeaux versus Exeter, we'll get that up now just to let you know. Not the best kick from Antoine Dupont hanging in the breeze, but Kinghorn, I mean, he's safe as houses under that one. Look for the offload, can't quite get it away to Barassi. Now the Sharks with a counter-attacking opportunity. The advantage is over. Jordan Hendrickse trying to find his way through. We've also got to remember, for these Sharks players, this could be a big opportunity to get a big contract. Because if you have a great game here, right, Exeter at the moment, they are sitting 5-7 down. So both sides have scored in the first 7 minutes of that other one. A bullshit new rule gives the teams with the ball more delaying opportunities. Says Jimbo, or it was one of the ones that they are trialling. They did not take the 20-minute red card as one of the trial rules that they are trying out, though, so that made some people happy. Jack Willis just had one hand on the ground, which is why he's been penalised. Tell you what, he was very close to getting the clean steal there, though. Now it looks like Jordan Hendrickse, he's going to line up 3 points just to give them something in this game for the early time that they've had inside of the Toulouse half, 29 metres out. Yeah, 2 tries already in Exeter versus Bordeaux. Looks like it's a relatively high-scoring one in that regard. We might as well see who has scored those tries. Of course, in this game, we did see Miafo, the man who scored it. But for that other match, Exeter Chiefs versus Bordeaux, we have seen, where are we? Hopefully we can see it somewhere. The try was scored by Maxime Luku for the Bordeaux side, so that is the halfback. And then Paul Brown Bampo scored the try early for Exeter Chiefs. 20-minute red card with a down arrow, down thumbs from Grant. A little bit of a counter ruck coming from the Sharks, but not able to get it. Sorry, not able to get it. Was Toulouse. Sharks still in the possession. Emmanuel Tichuca puts in a big fend, but is smashed backwards by Pieton Malvaka. Already 15 minutes into this game when did you read earlier? The real Elon was ghettoed and executed. Says Bruce. Now Jaden Hendrickse. Kicking it high again. And beautifully taken under the high ball for Yapinka, but they've called it as a knock-on. A little bit unlucky there. I thought he almost did enough, Yapinka, to get that one right. And come on, let's go, boys. Pull it out. Feathers flying. French on a rampage, and someone has to break that line and run it. And that's the thing. Jordan Hendrickse so far has looked pretty solid in that 10 jersey. He's been making some good decisions with ball in hand. Needs to just find that clean break for his team. And go the Sharks. There's Martin there. One try on the ball for Toulouse. They have scored 40-plus points in both of their games. In fact, they have won by 40 and 43. All Blacks to win every test this year. That's my prediction. Says Manny. I'm sure we'll see at some stage if they do lose one, saying that you don't think they will. But it's a good optimistic goal to have. But they've got some tough games, that is for sure. But now that one's going to be a free kick for the French. Antoine Dupont taking a quick tap. Looping around play. Passes out to Thomas Ramos. Trying to find his way through. There is plenty of pace in this Toulouse backline. If they can get it out wide enough. And here we go. Netty. Good quick hands. El Diegri. Some skills being shown by the front rowers. Here's Pieton Malvaka. Gets through another one. So hard to drag him down. Dupont with a short ball on the inside. Going to be knocked on by Miafu. And cleaned up by Pepsi Buthelezi. I'm listening to your commentary and watching the South Africa T20. Johannesburg versus Cape Town. The packs matching up. We've had an advantage for both sides, or a free kick for both sides. Little drop ball, chipped in behind from Blair. Kinghorn wanted the bounce, but doesn't get it. Instead, it's going to be Kunini who manages to grab that one. Kinghorn had to release him there, and he waited maybe a little bit too long. But the Sharks have got this ball 3 meters out from their try line now. Jordan Hendrickse looking for his next passing option. Finds Corne Ral. Miafu wanted the turnover, can't get it again. Pretty good on the breakdown to lose. Now, Jaden Hendrickse, almost charged down from Flamand. Ball's loose, picked up by Khaleesi. He has had a very prominent game so far. He's probably touched the ball 4 times in the first 17 minutes. But he knows the importance of this game. This is such a big occasion for the Sharks side. If they can pull off the upset while not having Grant Williams, Ebenezer, not having Apelele Fasi, Andre Esterhuizen. That would be a statement and a half. Is this a soccer game? This is not a soccer game. No, this is rugby. If it was a soccer game, 19 minutes and 10 goals would be very impressive. A Maniam, you hope. Says Neil there. Looks like Bongi Umbanambi might have a little bit of an injury at the moment. It might also be the case of get a bit more strapping, use up a bit more time, rest a little bit. And AB's too weak for Springboks, says Martin. I want to see vast improvement in Razor selection, says Manny M. 77 caps for the Springbok, Bongi Umbanambi, and all Springbok front row out there on the field for these Sharks. I agree with Manny, says Jimbo. 18 minutes in at the moment. South African teams are 90% South African. What percent of the French team are French? Says on the right. It depends on the team that you look at. So like this starting lineup for this Toulouse side, I would say is 80% French. The only internationals that are outside of that is Jack Willis, Santiago Chochabarez, and also Blair Kinghorn. So, but Toulouse probably aren't the best example because they've got, of course, access to the biggest international French players overall. Toulouse also playing a club member who drowned, or playing of a club member who drowned in South Africa last year, says I am nutty. South Africa forwards a bit lazy, all their balls almost stolen at the breakdown, says Flabber Nabber. That's an interesting name. How many of each team? Oh no, I read that one. Oh no, I didn't. How many of each team are Test Team 23 starters for their respective countries? So for the Sharks, they have got, I would say 6 or 7 international starters. Aldeigri's normally off the bench, isn't he, for France, but we could possibly almost count him. You've probably got about the same, if not maybe one less for Toulouse. Are you going to cover the Women's World Cup? We are hoping to. I haven't actually seen when that is starting. I haven't paid too much attention as of yet. I know it's a wee way away, so we've got time. The foreign players are all top tier. Says Jimbo, what country are these teams from? So for the Sharks, they are from South Africa. For Toulouse, they are from France. A solid 10% of French. Says, cool story, bro. Now, line out chance here. 5 penalties against Toulouse, 0 against the Sharks so far. So the discipline of this French side could cost them a bit here. Already a quarter of the way through this match. Thank you, says Drake. No worries at all. Should mention the game that has taken place between Bordeaux and Exeter. We have seen another try scored. It was Damien Pinot who did score the try. Now Jordan Hendricks are breaking the line. That didn't need to be thrown. Got a little bit confident and tried to make something happen. And unfortunately for him, it's going to cost this team maybe almost another 50-22. That ball has bounced nicely. Mapimpi passes it back across. This doesn't look like they're willing to kick this one. They have to be very careful here. Toulouse trying to shut them down, but Mapimpi working hard. Kicks it straight into touch. Yeah, 14 points to 3 at the moment in the Bordeaux versus Exeter Chiefs game. I'm here for a long haul today. Loving having you back. Thank you for your work. Says Robert, no worries at all. We have still got another game later on. Castra versus the Bulls. We are going to be live for that one. Great kick by Jordan, proper fly half. Says Eric. Yeah, though he did make a massive mistake in that throw. Or sorry, in that pass. Looks like Dupont might have a little bit of an injury at the moment as well. Something that Toulouse do not want to see. I want to see the Super Rugby teams play against the European teams more in 2025-26. Fly half, is that a dance move? So here's Drake. So the number 10 is the best way of describing that. But yeah, it doesn't really sound like it's a position, does it? Luke Pearce just borrowing the drink bottle of Antoine Dupont. That's nice. Although, to be fair, Toulouse have been penalised big time throughout the early stages. So obviously, they're not the best of buddies at the moment. I can't hear the crowd above these fans. You mean first 5-8? That is another way of putting it. Depending on where you are in the world, it's like the equivalent of scrum half and half back, depending on who you look at or where you're from. Now back across. On to the right-hand side. Jordan Hendricks goes off to Ethan Hooker. Currently 35 metres out from the line. Sharks looking to get a few phases together. Hamish, what games are you covering today? We have still got the next game after this one is going to be Castra versus the Bulls. And that is taking place at 10 p.m. kickoff for you guys in South Africa, 9 a.m. for us here in New Zealand. What happened to Dupont, I can't see. It would just look like a bit of a hand injury. He was getting a bit of spray, but he's all good continuing in this match. Now Toulouse, they have got position on the halfway line. Blair Kinghorn gets the offload up to Ramos Gelange. Goes across to the big man, Rodrigue. Netty now, Dupont pierces the line, steps through, looks for the pass, finds Roman Intermac, who's butchered that try. Needed to pass it to Labelle, but decided to go himself. Oh, Malvakas tried to go through his legs. That's probably not his best choice. But yeah, that should have been a try. Intermac, he had no pace whatsoever, and there's a knock-on from Toulouse. They've butchered that one. Okay, thank you, and the All Blacks will win all their tests this year, says Drape. They're going to get exhausted at this rate, Frenchies, to get the next try. Well, they almost had it. I don't know what it is about Intermac not wanting to pass it to Labelle, whether he didn't know he was there or what happened, but he just never looked at anything but the line there, Roman Intermac, which is surprising for a fly half, because normally they're the ones who, you know, have to set up that next pass, but he was certain he was going to score it himself. I think it will be 10 All Blacks and 5 Wallabies in the Anzac team. Says Matty Eamon, come on the Sharks. Says Rhea, and is back a bit rusty, not back to speed yet. Says Jimbo, someone who certainly does have speed, though, was the man on his outside, if they had given it to Matthias Labelle. It's like Hendrickson, that being Jaden, getting just a little bit of treatment. There was just a shocking piece of play from Intermac. Says Grant. Yeah, guaranteed. Well, not guaranteed, but very high chance that Labelle would have scored that. Probably stepped back on the inside to get around the defence, but didn't ever get to see it. All Blacks ready to rock and roll this season, says Ruth. A lot of people talking about the ABs. They are still not in action for another 7 months, so it's got a little while till we get to see them, or maybe 6.5 if we're optimistic. Bad play from Intermac. Did you know that the NFL have a problem with players throwing the ball down before they cross the try line or the touch line? They think they are over the line but misjudge it. I did not know that. I actually haven't watched any NFL in a very long time. There was one little patch, I think it was when I was playing Madden, that I was like, I should probably watch this and learn a little bit, and then I ended up watching something else instead. I think that was when rugby started really picking up. It's going to be the scrum here for the Sharks. I think the Wallabies will win the T-Series against the British Irish Lions. Probably not, but I think they're going to have a fair crack, which is exactly what you want to see. They're just talking about some of the accolades of Antoine Dupont. Hamish is simply brilliant, commentary king, says Ruth. He's had a very good start to this game, but so is Jaden Hendrickson. I feel like those two are trying to go shot for shot at the moment. Now, actually closer to 10 metres out from their own line here for the Sharks. How's the scrum contest going? Both sides have had free kicks from scrum, so it's a bit hard to judge. But overall, it looks like both sides have the ability to push each other back. It's just who gets the better push right from the get-go. A little bit of a counter-ruck coming here from Toulouse. They've attacked the ruck. It's going to be play on, and they don't quite get it. In fact, no. The foot was in touch for Blair Kinghorn, so it's actually going to be a line-out for the Sharks. Hamish is the Dupont of commentary. Says Grant. A nerve-wracking but enjoying the commentary, says Martin there. And Dupont, talk to your troops, keep the discipline tight. And there have been better scrum halves than Dupont. Surely he's good. There have been great scrum halves like Just van der Westhuizen, Gareth Edwards. Says Stefan, nicely taken there by Jason Jenkins. Oxnesh, yeah, big shot on him, which has knocked the ball free. Now Jordan Hendrickson running sideways. He's dropped it to Gelange. Gets it away to Piato. Malvaka. He puts it on the boot, the big man. And that's going to end the advantage. That wasn't the smartest play from the number 2. Right. I think Jordan Hendrickson now is down. We talked about Jaden before taking a bit of a knock, but now Jordan Hendrickson doesn't look too flash. In fact, it looks like everyone who was in that challenge doesn't look flash either. Santiago Chochavarez, He stayed down. 27 caps for Argentina, was brilliant throughout the Rugby Championship. He does not look in a good way. I think he might have knocked himself out while making a tackle. I think he got the hip of the guy coming round behind. Possibly, but it does not look too good for him. And it looks like it's a neck or a head injury that I would say will leave him off the field for the rest of this game. I don't see him getting back up. Or at least getting to play more throughout this one. Oh, in fact, they're actually going to say that it is a scrum feed for Toulouse by the sounds of it. And to be honest, the All Blacks should boycott the French series because they are sending their strongest team. Well, they're sending their weakest team, aren't they, France? Well, I mean, that's the thing. New Zealand just need to go into those games and go, right, well, we'll just try and absolutely smash you. Because that will do a lot more damage to France than, like, if you try and cancel a series, it's just not going to happen because there's too much money tied into them. But, like, if you win every game by 15 plus and drop France to about 8th in the world rankings, that's going to hurt a little bit. Yes, they might not care about it, but it doesn't look great when that happens. The All Blacks need more depth at 10 and centre this year because it was the backs that let the ABs down last year. And DuPont is one of the greats. It's really the truth. Now 25 minutes in. And Castro versus the Bulls. As a Bulls supporter, I'm bored already. As just broadcast and log fodder, says Robert. Yeah, although it's part of the Champions Cup. Like, the Bulls have had 2 games already. Yes, they've said that they don't really care about the comp, so they're chucking over a very experimental side, but we're still going to be calling it. I was debating whether I should when I saw that Bulls lineup, but I thought might as well see how it goes. Club Rugby pays the bills in France, and the French are already getting too arrogant. Hello, Ruth. Says Fleshin. Welcome in, Fleshin. Hope you are. Keep them well. You're super optimistic. Watch the Box embarrass, humiliate the ABs at Eden Park. Says Neil. The Mexican wave going around at the moment. That is due to the injury of Santiago Chocabrez. Of course, they aren't doing it because of the injury, but they're doing it because there is time during the injury wait. No way All Blacks will beat the boys at Eden Park. Says Amani M. Currently only a 4-point difference between these two sides. Currently in the Bordeaux versus Exeter Chiefs game, the score is 14 points to 5 as well. For anyone curious about that one, this is definitely causing Rice to skyrocket. Says Martin. Fleshin have had enough action over the last 24 hours. Yeah, decent start to this match for these two sides. If Toulouse don't have 14 points cushion halftime, they did in the water. Santiago Chocabrez, one of the best centres in the world. Yeah, and it's a big shame that he is injured because I don't think he'll be able to come back in this one. Super optimistic XBL Adocious, says Toby Hart. Also, we have got the 11 TikTok. And also, All Blacks going to give the Box a good hiding at Eden Park. Well, we all go like that. There we go. And one thing the Box do well is change history. I'm looking forward to Eden Park. And field positioning, mate. Currently, we've got Santiago Chocabrez going off, but it is going to be a scrum feed, I believe, for Toulouse about 15 metres out from the line. There's also a chance that it will be a 5-metre line out for the Sharks, depending on what that advantage was ruled as. Merry Xmas and Happy New Year, everyone. Says Drape, same to you. Getting a round of applause as he makes his way from the field, Santiago Chocabrez, which brings on his Argentine teammate, Juan Cruz Malia. Very handy player. Like they've said there, maybe a little bit of a French reshuffle from the Sharks line out. So, yeah, it's going to be a line out for the Sharks 5 metres out from their own line. All Blacks need to learn to play territory kick, dominant game. There's HH thrown in by Bongi Umbanambi. Claimed nicely by the Sharks. Orks Nishier. There's been a couple handling errors already early on from the Sharks side. Can't afford too many more. And throwing nicely here, Fleshin says Jimbo. Downfield. And hanging in the breeze. Knocked on by Pinke. Sits up for Roman Intermac. Be about 40 metres out from the line now here to lose. Jack Willis. Can't get that offload. Dupont, short ball. Gets it off. Oh, beautiful hands. Miafu, they're up to 22 metres out from the line now. Matthias Labelle, a long way off his wing, and I think they're going to go out there by the looks of it. Blair Kinghorn goes on the inside, missed tackle from the youngster Kunini, but then the ball is dropped by Toulouse. Please, can you tell me where I can see this match, says Michelle. It does depend a little bit on where you are in the world. Will depend on your options to be able to watch, but I do recommend checking out the Champions Cup website. It will tell you your best options depending on where you are around the world. Best French, I think the best, and act like it, says Albert. And low scoring game, says Mirage. Yeah, a lot lower scoring than I think a lot of people anticipated. Toulouse have blundered a couple chances, but then the Sharks, you could say the same about them. They've had opportunities inside of Toulouse's 22. Just haven't quite got that rhythm. Slippery ball, killing a good game, says I'm nutty. Come on, let's go, boys. Please hit the like button and subscribe. Yeah, anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Currently, there is another game taking place, Bordeaux versus Exeter, and it's 14 points to 5 in favour of Bordeaux. So that is, of course, also part of this group. The two French sides were undefeated heading into this round. Big scrum there from Toulouse, and they get the penalty. I don't think they'll want to go for 3 here. I think they'll try and really open up the floodgates, go for that corner. Is Ethan Hook on the field? Haven't heard his name, no opportunity yet. He had one run very early on. Other than that, really hasn't touched the ball that much. I hope the All Blacks get rid of the white collar in 2025, says Manny M. I think a lot of people are hoping that. When the floodgates open, French will be running it, says Ruth. And let's go the Sharks, says Lucretia. Now line out throw here. Pietro Molwaka. They go to the front. The rolling maul so far being defended by the Sharks, not making any meters. They will be told to use it. Pont got his hands on the ball now, looping around. Quick hands. Ramos with the cross kick. Labelle takes it. Oh, I think he was in touch there. I think that just needed to be passed from Ramos rather than the kick. I don't think the kick was at all necessary. There was no one who was going to block it. Even Bok fans open ABs, get rid of the white collar. The Sharks have Evan and Grant injured. Bongi just came back. Surely they win with Makazole Mapimpi in the game. Says simply real. And out says on the right. Yeah, we're going to see it from the other angle. But yeah, just not a necessary cross kick. You know, just passing that one. That's now 2 opportunities that Toulouse have got wrong. And these type of ones could end up costing them in the long run. I don't see Knox dominated like that since he scrummed against Big France, says Grant. Raul just getting a little bit of medical attention on the back, getting some ice on the spine by the looks of it. Doesn't look too flash at the moment, Raul. They also don't have Gubra Robela as an option here. Hamish, you don't think the Argentine players are very similar to the French players? They love to run, says YZ Smith. There are similarities in the way that they play, the two sides. That's why sometimes when they go head-to-head, it can be relatively even and stylistically a good matchup. They do have, I feel like the Argentines, at least the ones that they've got available, Jorge Perez as well as Juan Cruz Malia, they've both shown great form throughout the Rugby Championship. So it's a shame that Santiago Jorge Perez is injured, but I think Juan Cruz Malia will be able to pick up and still be one of the stars in that backline. Ruben Love needs to be given up opportunities. Ox dominated, France dominated today. Bok props under pressure, says Eric. Crusaders versus Leinster, who would win? Very hard to say because it all depends on, is it played in the north? Is it played in the south? Is it going to be full strength teams? Is it like off-season teams? Like many factors. Current Crusaders, though, you'd say that Leinster would beat them easily because they just don't have the same players that they had a couple years ago. This is a Crusader side that missed out on the top 8 from the last competition. Hitting harder in the tackles, Hamish. I mean, Malvak is trying to kill someone, it would seem, the way he's smashing into people. So I'd probably say Toulouse have had the physicality advantage just for now, but that can easily change. How's Raul doing? Is his fitness improved? He just took a back knock. It looks like he's going to be continuing, but he might not be 100% at the moment. Thrown in, nicely taken by Pietro Malwaka. Now looping around, Neti goes to Malwaka again. Good quick hands to Matthias Leberisi inside ball. Still think that both wingers could have scored already. There's another knock on due to the slippery ball. It's going to be another scrum. Crusaders win. Current Crusaders, are you saying, Matty M, the side that missed out on the quarterfinals and had their worst season ever? Up against Leinster, who are still sitting undefeated from this year of the URC, or last year of the URC 2024-25 competition. STADE is not this top team anymore. It is the Blues versus Leinster or Toulouse. Manawatu, under 15s, would beat Leinster. So here's Drape. I mean, Manawatu, the main side, don't really get many wins, though, and the NPC, do they? Unfortunately. Adox, the king of scrummaging, says Simply Real. I think Razor this year will be a better coach. And French have the biggest type 5, I think, says HH. In there as well. There is going to be the scrum now. Toulouse do not have the feed. They have already been able to score one up against, steal one up against the feed. Is Toulouse struggling? I wouldn't say there are some moments that they haven't been completely in control, but they've also blown 2 tries that they should have scored both of them. So, if those two had worked for them, 30 minutes in, it's 21 or 20, let's say 19 points to 3 currently. So I'd say that they're adjusting to the conditions, but they have still looked like the better side out there. It's just more of the fact that they haven't quite found the rhythm. That's actually hit the hand. Yeah, that's a mistake there from Jaden Hendrickse. He's hit the hand of one of the front rowers, I believe. Dupont with the chip in behind. 2 players chasing. It's gone into the in-goal area. Mapimpi forces it for the goal line dropout. Physicality is missing in Pacific Rugby, in my opinion. Says HH. And how the Sharks playing? They haven't gone too badly so far throughout this game. They've been competitive. They've been defensively doing, I think, all right, but they just leaked that 1 try. Now kicking downfield, Jordan Hendrickse down to the halfway line. Thomas Ramos going off to Anthony Gelange, who will run it straight in. He sits down. Oh, Vincent Cox in a bad way. He has been sat down. It is not a good day for Springbok props. Though he's going to get back up. Looks like he wants to continue, but he is not looking that flash at the moment. Nice step from Lebel. Tackled by Emmanuel Chichuka. Now Dupont back across to Jack Willis. There's Dupont, the GOAT, even playing. He seems a bit invisible, says John. For the first 20 minutes or so, you couldn't miss him. He got the try assist for that first try. He also has had 2 line breaks so far. But in the last maybe 5 minutes or so, he's just... tell you what, that was close to a knock-on from Dupont making the tackle, forcing the error from the Sharks. If you look for him, you'll see him, I think is the best way of describing Antoine Dupont. A female commentator, please keep quiet so we can hear the referee speak to the captains. Says Alice. And the 2 backline brothers, Jordan and Jaden, will come up with their moves, which will make us win, says Simply Real. Gelon's one of the great unknown French players, says Jimbo. Now rolling this one back. Jaden Hendrickse. Unfortunately, Gelange is known for the wrong reasons in some people's minds because of what happened in Australia back in that touring series. Lebel going back across now. Ramos breaks the line, gets round 3, puts it to the boot again. I don't know why he keeps doing that. That looked like it might have been lost on the ground from Kunini. Dupont is never overrated. He's great, says Drape. Sorry, says Ruth, I should say. Now, once again, the Sharks have got this ball inside of their 22. Having to work hard here for every metre that they're making. In fact, most of the time, they've only got the metres from kicking it from inside their 22. Good clearing kick from Jordan Hendrickse. Great at being overrated, says Drape. I think it depends on who you talk to, because, you can't deny the accolades that he has, but you also have to remember, he has been in some brilliant sides alongside himself. Ramos needs Louis Belbari. Inside him, says HH. Speaking of Louis Belbarry, he has scored a try in the Bordeaux game. They are now leading 26 points to 5. Maxime Luku also got himself a try. So plenty happening in this matchup so far. And also in the other match. Now, it's going to be passed across LeBel. Can he get the try that he needs? Oh, knocked on. Oh, Meafu having a bit of a push and a shove there with Bongi Umbanambi, and the referee's going to get involved because those two are still pushing each other. Oh, and DuPont's been sat down by a cheap shot. I think it was Oxnesh who saw him and went, yep, I'll get a shot on him while I'm at it. For those who say DuPont is overrated, I have no idea about rugby. Maybe you should take up knitting, says Bill. Right, there's still push and shove going on between these two sides. I would say this is a sign of frustration from probably both sides. Toulouse will feel that they should be way more ahead than they are, and the Sharks will be frustrated that they just can't get out of their own half. I know Agent Carter, Doc ain't. Ethan Hooker is a great player, says Simply Real. And they probably need Brett Cameron back for the ABs 2025, says Toa. Or they can just, Harry Plummer was a great option, but they decided not to use him, so he's gone overseas. Right, penalty has been reversed. It was going to be the Sharks penalty, but because of number 6, Pepsi Buthelezi coming in and elevating the situation, the penalty now goes the way of Toulouse. You just can't afford to do that. He's had his jersey ripped as well. Pepsi Buthelezi, the Bombers, a very great player. Not the best 9 ever, but very good. So here's Eric. Is this the type of one that might lead to Toulouse getting a few more points? I think they are taking the 3 here. Just to get some more points on the board, get that lead back to 7 points. Forget Harry Plummer, says Manny M. Well, Razor did, didn't he? Bill, I will start knitting. My rugged days were in the 90s and 80s. Well, there you go. Umbanambi having a right chat on the ground. Yeah, it's the running in afterwards that has caused the problem. Now lining up this kick, Thomas Ramos does get it over, making the score 10 points to 3. Not too long left of this half, only 5 minutes remaining. Both sides have to make that decision. How do they want to end the half? I think Toulouse want another try, and they'll be disappointed not to get another one here with how much possession they've just had throughout this first half. The Sharks are doing extremely well, though. They need a lot of credit for what they've been able to do in terms of hanging in this game. Wallace Atiti going to be even better, says Manny M. Wait, so you're saying forget Harry Plummer because a guy who plays a completely different position is going to be better? Is that the gist of that one? The grandpa days when fitness was only fit. This burger in my mouth, says Bill. Durban is not a place for good running rugby, too sweaty and salty. So here's Eric going to be kicked downfield. Brilliant kick from Antoine Dupont. And peak French team as a combination of Springboks and All Blacks. So here's HH. But, what have they got to show for it? Being at that peak is probably a big question. 3.5 minutes remaining. Bungi Umbanambi ready to throw this one in. I'm a French supporter of rugby. So here's Eric. Now, Umbanambi ready and gets it in. Taken by Corneral. Now Hendrickse. Oh, that's a big shot coming in on Francois Fenta. Hendrickse going on the outside to Yarpinka. This is the best attacking chance the Sharks have had in probably about 20 minutes. And we didn't cry about shoulder charges and running in on our backs. Says Rape. Oh, the ball is stolen. Toulouse have got it back. Kicking it downfield. Ramos gets a good clearing one. Kuneni back to retreat, who hasn't done too bad at 15. He had a bit of a shaky start. Now has found his feet. Corneral trying to fend off Netty. Yeah, they honestly should have won the 2023 Rugby World Cup. Yeah, to be honest, it was the prime opportunity to do so, I felt. Oh, nice little chip in behind. Well claimed by Antoine Dupont. Looking for the flick out the back. Oh, Ramos. That's going to be a bit of a cheap shot from Siya Kolisi, and the penalty goes against the Sharks. Eben was supposed to play this week, but he didn't pass the fitness test. So he's simply ruined. He's the type of guy who could have been a game changer here for the Sharks. Definitely with such a close game. You know, you need those experiences. Vincent Koch, he still doesn't look like he's 100% after that big shot that he took earlier on. There are many sweaty and salty rugby venues in the world. There's Stefan. Oh, he just took a bit of a knee to the side of the head. An accidental one. And Freshen, when a team refuses to pick their strongest team, time after time, they don't deserve to be supported. Says Kevin. Yeah, looks like Vincent Koch just sitting down for now. 27 appearances in the Champions Cup. Now, of course, a lot of those were actually for a different side. That was for, I believe, the Wasps. Oh, no, sorry, for the Saracens, I should say. Who was the one who was at the Wasps? I'm probably thinking of Brad Shields, even though it's completely different. The ABs lost the 2023 final because of Wayne Barnes. Says Manny M. Now into Mac. Kicking this one towards the touchline. I have a feeling that maybe LaBelle will be the guy that they take off for Capuzio in the second half. Although I would like to see a bit more of LaBelle. I feel like he had a perfect chance to score out wide. He hates New Zealand, says Manny M. Oh, there was a hesitation at line-out time. In the end, it hasn't cost anyone because the Sharks have ended up with the ball from the steal. Here comes Jordan Hendrickse. Passes on the outside to Francois Fente. A bit of a bullet pass to a guy. Oh, clean steal for Roman Intermac. This is where we see, oh, that was a knock-on on the ground. Again, just too many for both of these sides. Every time that we get some sort of play going, there's a knock-on that just stops it. 31 points to 5 at the moment in the game between Bordeaux and Exeter. A brilliant rip at the ball on the way down from Intermac. He seems to be doing some great things, and then he's doing some absolutely shocking things as well. Sharks can beat anyone. They will never... Oh, Sharks can beat everyone. They will never be a top team, says Rugby Hub. Move that ball down, get it out wide, run it. And Trevor Legend, says Eric. I think all they need to do is use their backs. They've got Kinghorn out on one wing, LaBelle out on the other. But the decision-making, I think, is really costing them. Nine handling errors also doesn't help when you're trying to get it out to the wingers. Sharks can buy everyone, but they'll never be a top team. I see. Sorry, I got a bit confused there. Oh, penalty goes the way of the Sharks. They are down by 7. Looks like Siya Kolisi has said we want to go downfield a little bit further, even though we're at the halftime siren. So everyone was supposed to be in Super Rugby. Says simply, right now, yep, they're making sure that they kick this one towards the touchline instead. Oh, and it's a good kick from Jordan Hendrickse. Taking it easy on Exeter, says Bill. Yeah, winning this one comfortably. 31 points to 5 at halftime. That is the kind of score, honestly, that some people expected for this game. But Toulouse have been nowhere near clinical enough to get a result of that magnitude. South Africa will never drop or never have a top team in ECC. While we have so many box playing overseas, just playing facts, says Eric. Now it's going to be thrown in by Umbanambi. Nicely claimed by Emmanuel Tichuka. But the ball is stolen. Antoine Dupont on the short side. Toulouse making a lot of meters there. Jaden Hendrickse trying to get the turnover and the breakdown. Not able to do so. Now Toulouse have gone from... Well, this is going to be a great attacking chance right at the end of the half. They've got the advantage as well. So they've got 3 points if they want it. But I would like to... Oh, they've gone for it. In fact, they're going to get marched back 10 a little bit further. They're going to be only 22 metres out. I would love to see Toulouse have one last crack here in the first half, but I have a feeling that the 3 points might be the better option. You know, smack bang in front doesn't get much easier to put them over. What's the goal? What does Ramos think? They will take the 3, or at least attempt the 3. And the Sharks are the best because they got the most box. They lose means they didn't bring up their best team. So here's simply real. Yeah, it's actually ended up costing the Sharks here a little bit. They won the penalty on their own 22, decided to try and make their way up the field. And then Toulouse getting that ball back with Antoine Dupont making 50 metres, and then the penalty goes against the home side. French keep their ball. And slow scoring here. And down by 7 in the first half. Not too bad considering all the missed opportunities from Toulouse. Sharks are tadpoles no more, says Kevin. And is Toulouse the best in the world? They are right up there. In fact, like if you were going to do a top 5, I think Toulouse would definitely be in the top 3, if not the top 2. If not, maybe people would pick it as the best. Half time, 10 points advantage to Toulouse. It's all right. It's not awful, but it's certainly not where Toulouse saw themselves being at halftime. They probably expected a bit more of a scoreline like the Bordeaux Chiefs game, which is 31 points to 5. They got a good lead at the moment. So the points differential, 26 between the Exeter Chiefs and Bordeaux as we currently sit. Toulouse, they were expected to win this game by 16 and a half, or somewhere around there is the line that it's got, I do see. It's incredible how rattled they get near the try line. Says Ruth. And also, like someone said, Durand of South Africa has no chance against Dupont of Europe, says Eric. And the Emirates Lions have dropped badly. They've been going all right so far this year in the URC. They've actually had a much better season than they had last year. And, like, Challenge Cup-wise, like, they're not doing awful in that either, are they? They're going to be playing Montpellier in about 1 hour 20, but we can't cover that game, sadly, due to them not showing it here in New Zealand. But we will be covering Castra versus the Bulls. That game kicks off at 9 a.m, so just under 4 hours' time till that one does start up. Patient Toulouse will get their Sharks at home, only 1 penalty. Says Jimbo, yeah, that's the thing. It only takes one little moment for Toulouse to fully claim this game. But the longer that the Sharks can keep themselves in it, the more the chance of an upset does become. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see whether or not we get to see come back from the Sharks. They're only down by 10. A try will change this game completely. But if Toulouse score the next try, that could really hurt. Yeah, Dupont, the master, says Ruth in there as well. One moment, we will go like this. We will go like that as well. There we go. Yeah, half time. No problem, says Gufasa. Whatever, Trevor, lol, says Drape. And tadpoles grow into French people, not Sharks. And Patience, Toulouse will get there. Crusaders, bruh, they the best, yo. Yeah, looking through at some of the stats for this first half so far. Less tries than the other match that has taken place, but just the one being scored, and that was by the big man Mia Fu. It wasn't too far into the match either, but since then we've seen a lot of handling errors from Toulouse. We've seen the Sharks heavily struggle with territory. They haven't been able to get out of their own half. You also commentary on cricket, says Eric. Sometimes. We haven't done it in a long time, though, mainly because each time we tried to do cricket, we normally ended up with a copyright strike of some sort. But we are doing Castra versus the Bulls as well. That is happening in 4 hours' time. That is the game that is happening for the Bulls in the Champions Cup. Hamish, what do you do for heat stroke, burnout, and jealousy? Heat stroke, burnout, and jealousy. Those seem like 3 very different things. Heat stroke, you should probably, go somewhere that it's not hot, is my best medical advice I can give. Burnout, I don't really know, because anytime we got burnout from streaming last year, we just kept going, and then we're fine now, so it worked out, I guess. And now you see the difference of the coaches. See, here's Colin there. Although you'd have to argue that, for the Sharks to be 10 points down up against this world-class Toulouse side, missing pretty much 4 or 5 of their best players for the Sharks. Like, that's a win, in my opinion, for what they're sitting at now. The big thing is going to be whether or not it stays that way, or whether this is when we're going to see them really start to boost themselves up in the second half to lose, because they have got a great bench, although they already made that sub, Juan Cruz Malia, onto the field for Santiago Shochabares. Not Hamish never Riz, simply Terminator, says Ruth. And we have got there, Meta AI will tell you Ruth, says cool story, bro. But yeah, we are hoping to cover not just that Castres versus Bulls game, but I am actually hoping to do the game taking place tomorrow between La Rochelle and Leinster. Hopefully get that one all set up, ready to go at some point. I will be heading to work pretty much straight after, or maybe I'll have a bit of a break in between afterwards. I wonder why Khaleesi is leaving, says Simply Real. And the Bulls batsmen and bowlers are not good enough, says Eric. Yeah, it could be a one-sided game, but at the same time, who knows? Maybe the Bulls can somehow be competitive. I'd like to think that Castres, though, with the chemistry that they have, it might play a factor as well, just because they've got guys playing week in, work out. What do you do for work, and in quotations from Standing Tall Beardy? I am a builder. So I believe today, or sorry, not today, tomorrow, I will get to nail in a whole heap of plates on a shed. So that'll be fun. That's a job you can do in your sleep. You just sit there, tap, tap, tap. Too easy. Just don't hit the fingers or else you have a bad day. Which best players are the Sharks missing? They are missing Ebenetzebeth, Apalele Fassi. They haven't got Andre Esterhuizen. They haven't got Grant Williams. I know that he's not considered as one of those big Springbok guys, but someone like a Gurbrand Robela, just to have him. A good man, love the trades, I'm a tradie myself, says Standing Tall Beardy in there. And coming on Sharks, we can't have Toulouse top of the pool from a Leinster fan, says Ethan. And much love to any South African team trying their luck in the URC and whatever they call it. Wellington Hurricanes are the best, says Drake. In there too. Yeah, there's certainly a lot that can happen in the second half in terms of whether Toulouse find their rhythm, because they've dropped the ball 9 times, which is very un-Toulouse-like. Grant Williams, I miss really good. Yeah, like not having Grant Williams, I think, is a massive hit just because of the form that man has brought to the Shark side over the last 12 months or so. Patrick Duffy is a builder, step by step, just like Hamish. Patrick Duffy. Is Step by Step a movie? Because if it is, I haven't seen it. But as you guys know, I haven't seen a lot of movies. So that probably isn't any surprise whatsoever. There's been some one-sided games of the Champions Cup this round. Wasn't a mile off. I was going to say being the biggest winning margin for the Stormers, winning by 40. Although Toulouse have had a game that they won by 40 and 43. Have you watched Bob the Builder? When I was a lot younger, I did dabble in Bob the Builder a little bit. It's actually my dad's ringtone. So there you go. The more you know. The second half of this game, not too far away. Lions, they will be taking on Montpellier, and that has taken place in an hour and 10 minutes' time. We won't be covering that one on the channel, though. That is due to us not being able to watch it here in New Zealand. Challenge Cup games up until the quarters, we don't get to see. But then I think after the quarters, we do get to see them. This game will end tighter than a guinea fowl's hamstring below the knee. Says Alex, that is a saying that I've never heard and probably will never hear again unless you say it yourself again, Alex. But, yeah, certainly not one we're familiar with. I assume that's quite tight, though, possibly, if I had to guess. How do you think Six Nations will go, Hamish? I think there's probably 3 or 4 sides that have a really good shot of winning the Six Nations, which is absolutely awesome because it means that it's going to be a very competitive competition. No one but the team that gets the clean sweep want to see a clean sweep. Now, if we get into the last round and every game means something, perfect. Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about the first round as it is taking place at the same time as I'm going to be at a wedding. Well, I'm not going to be at the wedding during that period of time because it will be the middle of the night here. But I might have to try and get a fill-in for that first week of the Six Nations. We have there, I just read a few comments on social media. Most comments complaining about discipline, handling errors, Jaden being too slow. And that number 4, Raul, needs to be taken off. Is this accurate? So I would say that there's been a lot of discipline problems from Toulouse in that first half. Huge amount of handling errors on their half as well. Jaden Hendricks, he had a bit of a mixed half. He actually started off doing quite well, but then in that last 20 seemed to struggle a little bit more. Cornet Raul, probably they're saying he should be taken off due to his injury, which isn't a bad call because, you don't want to see him fully injured. So I'd say most of it's right. Keep it up, listening to you. I'm in London and working, listening to the game. Says Standing Tall Beardy. And there as well. So hopefully tell you what, it's almost evening for you, isn't it? Standing tall, you must be working late. And it's Saturday. Is it Saturday? Yeah, it's Saturday as well. You're working hard. How popular is horse racing in New Zealand? It's got a market, but I don't think it's that popular. There's a bit of it around, but not crazy popular, I wouldn't say. I think it's bigger in Australia. And Plumtree should give the Sharks game plan, says Simply. And this time the English Bulldogs for the Six Nations. Italy will clean sweep the Six Nations. Says Joe. But they have just finished the highlights of Glasgow versus Racing 92, which does mean we are getting very close to the start of this one. Start of the second half, that is, of this match. So far, we have seen one South African side have great success. It was the Stormers managing to get themselves a 14-0 win over the Sale Sharks. It is evening, about 4:23. But you want to make the cash grinding. So here's Standing Tall Beardy in there as well. So yeah, hopefully the weather's all right for you at the moment. Aussies love horse racing. My cousins have stud racing farm, says Ruth. And DuPont's genius can be seen in his wrist coordination, says HH. I feel like I want to have that as my pickup line. Maybe not my pickup line, but if I was to ever have a dating app and I want something as my bio, I'm going to say I've been considered a genius because of my wrist coordination. And I'm sure I will get plenty of matches. Probably not. I might get blocked. Toulouse has to win, and win easily. Says Kevin, and Glasgow could have had 10 tries, but only won by 10. Shocking second half by them, says Jimbo. Maybe that is on the cards for this game. We just don't know whether or not Toulouse are going to come out absolutely firing here, or whether Sharks will keep it close. Being a gigolo is really hard work, I just remembered. And nice, I'm back. Go the Sharks, says Terrence. Do let me know who you guys think will score the first try of the second half. I'm still going with Matthias Lebel. I think he could have had a try in the first half if they had just given him the chance. And that come rolling in. Or that'll come rolling in. It's in the wrist. Yeah, his brain is like the Djokovic of tennis, says HH. In there as well. Yeah, I feel like if they just can get their backs going, how would wrist coordination help you with the senior citizens, Hamish? Says Grant. Well, it would help cook their meals, wouldn't it? Help them stand up and cross a road. A legit genius as success follows. How's DuPont looking best player ever or not? He's looked very good in this game. He had a few moments where he was a little bit quiet, but I think most of the players were when we had a patch of about 5 knock-ons in 5 minutes. But, he's had a couple line breaks. He's had an assist. He's looked like the best player on the field. And Sharks should recall the great Tommy Bedford. What is HH talking about? He's talking about DuPont and his love for him. I hope this game is close. Are the Bulls playing these guys in South Africa? They are playing Castres in France, so that's going to be a tough game. But, they've already, without that being hard enough, they've also sent over a team of inexperienced young guys. So it could be domination against them. Or maybe they can cause one of the bigger upsets of this round of the Champions Cup. Right. Second half, I believe we're just about to get into it. The two sides about to make their ways out of the tunnels. Get ready to go for this matchup. Currently 10 points difference, the one try being scored. That was by Mere Foe. Other than that, we have not seen any other tries in this first half. But hopefully, second half, we're going to see at least a few. Toulouse will be looking for nothing less than a bonus point win here. Bring Williams off the bench to create that speed of service. Third down the rucks, adjust out the tempo of play. See, I completely agree, Rogan. That's the impact he can normally have. But sadly, he's not in the team. He was taken out late due to personal reasons. So not having him is such a big hit for this Sharks side. As like you said, he normally is the guy who can come out and completely open up a game. But they haven't got him anymore. If Toulouse fail to get a winning bonus point, then Bordeaux tops the group. Meaning Toulouse will likely be away semi-finals versus Leinster or Bordeaux or La Rochelle. Yeah, it's important that they get a big win here, which is why they sent their best team. At the end of the day, they know the threat that Bordeaux are. So they had to try and counter that. Next point, Sharks. Try through the back line. 52 minutes after that, game will open up. And we have got their Sharks box. I need to turn this around. Do you think there is still a chance for the Sharks? Honestly, yeah. As long as they don't allow Toulouse to score the first try of this half. If Toulouse score first, then I think they're almost done. Notice Rasi makes several subs around 46 to 50 minutes. Here's HH. Perhaps they'll do that for the Sharks here too. Of course, not Rasi coaching, but might be a similar pattern. But Roman Intermac to kick off the second half. He's been 50-50 for his first game on South African soil in quite some time. Francois Finta crashing it up nicely. Now, I believe Bradley Davids is already on the field, but so is Jaden Hendrickse. So they're playing the two halfbacks kind of role. Nicely cleaned up by Gelange. Around the side, pick and go. Willis has so much open space, but he can't link up with Antoine Dupont. The Hendrickse brothers trying to drag him down now, going to the short side into Mac. He was smashed in the tackle by Emmanuel Tichuca. Dupont having a look both ways. Gets the pass away. Now looking to send it wide. Ramos. Dupont again gets that ball available. Jack Willis moves forward. So, yeah, they've got Davids on the field, and that is actually for Kunini now, passing it out wide to LaBelle. He is a clinical finisher, but he has to get the pass on the inside. Going to Dupont, who flicks it out. Roman Intermac goes to Malvaka. 10 metres out from the line now. Does Dupont look back to that same side? He considered it, but goes instead across. Right, Raul's off, and Vincent Tichuca is on. A lot of subs being made in the last little while. A break Dupont's leg, says Drape. And Sharks to score first in the second, Pepsi or Hooker, says Lilia. Now Miafu. When does he decide to go the other way here, Dupont? For now, they are going phase after phase to the right. Oh, he's knocked it on, Dupont. The pressure and the breakdown. And now Machas Olema Pimpy trying to drive his way forward. And we have got their Exeter getting skinned. 50 points coming for Toulouse, says Sean O'Farrell. Cross kick attempted. Nicely taken by Ramos, and the advantage for the knock-on was over. Maybe a bit of a mistake made there from the Sharks in terms of game management. Looks like Blair Kinghorn fell awkwardly on his knee. Now passing across. Willis looks for the pass. Nice quick hands here from Toulouse. Juan Cruz Malia goes on the inside to Inter. Mac interception, but then knocked on by the Sharks again. Dupont takes it to the turf. Still waiting for that LaBelle try. I feel like it's coming very soon. Kinghorn now fires it out wide to LaBelle. He's got about 4-on-1. Gets the offload. Little flick out the back door, and Kinghorn scores it in the corner. Sensational work from Toulouse, making the most of the early momentum. Abby Vincent is back. Says Lilia B, if the Sharks win, I will make out with my Dupont poster. The Sharks' young fullback did not have a great game. He will learn and come back strong. Yeah, I mean, chucking him in up against one of the best club sides in the world is definitely a learning curve for the young man. Like, he had a couple early blunders, but overall, I don't think he did absolutely awfully. You know, it could have been worse. They only conceded one try. His positioning wasn't too bad either, but Sia Khaleesi trying to get the ankle tap on Kinghorn, who slammed it down, and they scored the try there to lose. So they build the momentum now. Try, says I'm nutty, and Sharks don't even have a half. Pre-Amish, says Kevin. And oh baby, yeah, says Ruth there too. 5 seconds remaining. Ramos strikes and he brings it round beautifully. And that kick now makes it a big difference between these two sides. 17 points, and we're only a couple minutes into the second half, but it's been all-out attack. Beautiful flick out the back door from Thomas Ramos. An excellent attack and defence, but attack wins finally, says Eric. Not sure about this. Quiet as F at the stadium here. I think there's that realisation that the Sharks needed to score first in that second half. And now, 4 minutes in, they are now down by 17. And there's already some deep breaths being taken. Umbanambi being taken from the field. I think the Sharks have made about 4 or 5 subs already. Juan Cruz Malia not able to take it cleanly. Dylan Richardson is on the park. Ball's available. Emmanuel Tishuka passes across. In fact, that time it was his brother Vincent. Now Jaden Hendrickson goes to Francois Fenta. A little bit of a counter-attacking chance here for the Sharks. Bradley Davids. Across. I'm just looking around for Jordan Hendrickson. Oh, stolen there in the breakdown from Toulouse. And now Ramos sends it downfield, looking for the 50-22. The ball is bouncing, and it will end about 10 metres out from the line. Yapinka with a good step. LaBelle manages to drag him down, but it's still a very good clear and kick in the process. Too much for the Sharks. They needed to score first. And Toulouse got chewed out in the locker room. They probably got told, you should have been ahead by a lot. You blundered a lot of tries in that first half. Let's go out there and try and make a bit of a statement. And come on, the Sharks run it all. I get at least a bonus point, says Eric. And man, Sharks still ask how many years this club's been in existence, from 96 and still sucking to this day, like Wilder once said. Now thrown in but stolen by the Sharks at line out time. That is a big one to have. And now the Sharks, Ethan Hooker looking to go through, but a great low tackle made by Barassi. Davids goes back across to Pepsi Buthelezi. Jack Willis going to struggle to roll out of there, but he has done enough, they have said. In fact, no, it's actually Francois Cruz who was a little bit slow getting back to his feet. Stumbling around a little bit. Nicely taken from Juan Cruz Malia. He did it all throughout the Rugby Championship as well. There is a new advantage, and the penalty goes the way of Toulouse. It's a waste of money. Only plays well for the Box. Otherwise, he is injured, says Kevin. Well, you got to remember, like, that man, when he's playing, he puts 110% out there on the field. And we saw it all throughout the season. Like, even last year, before he was injured, he was doing extremely well for the Sharks, putting in the big hits and helping them at line-out time. That's nearly every bot, Kev, says Bill. Come on, the Sharks run it all now. Get at least a bonus point, says Eric. So, yeah, for that to happen, they would have to be within 7. Currently, they are down by 17, so there's a bit more work to be done. Now, Pietro Malvaca's last line out was stolen. Can the Sharks put that same level of pressure on again? They go over the top this time. Miafu gets the offload away to Dupont. Now into Matt, quick hands. Blair Kinghorn looked wide, but instead hits it up. Now again, Dupont going off Juan Cruz Malia, off to Ramos. He's got the man with him, but cuts in instead. LaBelle joins the breakdown. I'll be honest, I've been saying that LaBelle's going to score the whole game, so I just hope he does at some point so that I don't feel like I got the completely wrong prediction. There are plenty of tries still out there on the field for the side. They can hold on to possession. Sharks better have a plan B. I think, unfortunately, plan B may just be defend as well as they can and hope for the best. Like, their attack is still strong, but they haven't really been able to find that rhythm in the last little while. Right, Toulouse have got the possession now. Sitting 10 metres out. In fact, now they are only 5. They can use their big forwards to their advantage. Oxnishia trying to shut it down a little bit. Once again, they will shift it to the right. They seem to prefer that side. Though now Dupont looks left. In fact, it looks like first Jack Willis is going to have a carry. Pick and go. They're not too far out from the line. Oxnishia gets the penalty for his side. They made a big mistake there to lose. They wouldn't shift it. And how important will subs be? Very important. All March 10 as well. Nettie must have said something not very nice to the referee. And we have got there. That's weird how you know these things. But yeah, in terms of the subs and how important it's going to be, like, they have to, like, for the Sharks guys, they have to find their rhythm straight away. Toulouse, as a whole, even with those handling errors and the penalties against them, I still think they've looked like the stronger side when it comes to the attack. But it's going to be whether or not those guys off the bench for the Sharks can just go straight in and gel. Like so Dylan Richardson, we saw him making that tackle for Oxney to then get the turnover. Still 17 points difference though. Dylan Richardson throwing this ball in, nicely taken by Vincent Tuchuka. Now kick downfield from Jordan Hendrickse. Looking for the 50-22. He's got a lot of distance on that one, but pulls up inside of the Toulouse 22. King on, kicks downfield, gets it into touch. Sharks take it quickly. Now Jordan Hendrickse trying to bump off Dupont, who eventually manages to wrestle him down. They're asking for a not rolling penalty. I'm not too sure who we heard there, but it was someone with a South African accent. Maybe in a coach's box or something. It picked it up very clearly. Back across to the right-hand side. Looks like Dupont is dealing with a shoelace at the moment. He'll be down for about a minute. Toulouse will get Coloum as prop next year as well. So an even bigger pack. Yeah, I mean, they're already a big, solid group out there. All rough pass from Hendrickse, Yapinke. Not a lot of space to work with. Low tackle by Intermaku rolls away well. 50 minutes into this game now. The Sharks need a try and they need one soon. It's fair to say the damn wall breaks at 60. Not looking good for the Sharks. France should dominate Six Nations, honestly. He's going to be kicked downfield from Bradley Davids and it's out on the full. It's a good idea, but it was poorly executed from Bradley Davids. They didn't have a fullback in play. Just ended up absolutely smashing it off the boot, though. And putting it out. Yeah, it's time for a try rampager. See his roof. Because we got to remember, Toulouse have 2 tries. And they want the win, but they also want that bonus point. It was mentioned earlier on about Bordeaux and how well they've been going. They don't want to fall behind them, Toulouse here. So they need a win and they need 5 points. And I mean, Bordeaux are really trying to catch up with them at the moment in that other game that is taking place. It is 36 points to 12 in favour of Bordeaux. They have scored another try in the second half since coming back on. We also saw Paul Brown Bampo get himself a second try. Damien Pinot also got his second too. Yapinke chips it back into the hands of Toulouse. Now Thomas Ramos running backwards to go forwards here. It doesn't end up going forwards. Instead just ends up getting dropped. Dupont, the little chip in behind. There is open space, but the ball sits up for Davids, who goes back across to Jordan Hendrickse. Pressure on him. Partially charged, so it is going to be a Sharks line-out. That is actually best case scenario for them. 36-5. Says I'm nutty. I mean, I have got a try in the 47th minute for Paul Brown Bampo, which made it 36-12, unless that one was taken away. I never understood Ireland's success. Says HH. And Ireland will end up 4th this year in the Six Nations, says Drape. I've seen 10 lineouts won by the Sharks so far throughout this game. Thrown to the back. Dylan Richardson, nicely taken by Sia Khaleesi. That ball's been dropped and it's knocked on again from the Sharks. I suppose the answer is yes. Hamish covering the Six Nations. Yes, but the first round's going to be a little bit tricky because I'm actually going to be away at a wedding for that weekend. So I might have to try and find a fill-in, but if not, hopefully we'll still be doing previews of the games and a bit of a review of each of them, but it's going to be very difficult to do the live stream, seeing as we're in a big shared house with a lot of the family, and the last thing I want to do the day before the wedding is keep everyone up all night by commentating rugby. Like, I feel like that would make me not in the good books, you know? So, yeah, we might have to try and find a replacement for those games, which is a shame because there's some big ones that are taking place, particularly Ireland versus England. I think that's going to be an intriguing game when it does take place. But yeah, I'll have to try and find something as a fill-in type thing. Oh, Going to be the free kick to Toulouse. They will take it quickly now. Lebel goes across to Intermag now. Rush defense from Makazoli. Mapimbi gets caught off his wing. Ramos going for the boot again. I don't really understand this decision, although that's a good kick in the end. It's actually curved and helped in his favour. There is another try here for Bordeaux, now winning 41 points to 12. Hamish, what colour is your suit for the wedding? The shirt that I'm wearing is going to be, it's actually the one that I wore for some of the streams, believe it or not. And then the pants are dark blue or navy. You're wearing a funky tie or bow tie? Nah, just the shirt and pants. Oh, and shoes, of course. Can have them on too. Now ready to throw this one in. Dylan Richardson, phone and sick for the wedding too. That's going to be nicely claimed. Toulouse turning it over. Quick hands. Oh, Intermax knocked it on again. Oh, it's turned into the Sharks ball here. And there was also a knock on, so they go right back for the original one. Sharks camping in their 20-metre zone. George as a fill-in. Or as a fill-in would be fun. Or him just shouting and swearing at random players, says Grant. It would be very dangerous. I feel like I'd end up coming home seeing I've got a community guidelines strike for like abuse or something, or bad language. Need to go drive back home. We'll listen on the road. See a standing tall beardy, so drive safe. And both in that, a good coach, 3 quality players. And a bow tie would would match perfectly for Hamish, says Bill. Maybe I need to look at a bow tie then. I'd assume that you get a bow tie matching the pants, wouldn't you? Rather than matching your... What else do you need with a bow tie, though? Can you just go shirt, bow tie, pants? Shoes, of course. Or do you have to have, like, you know how sometimes you have to have something else? Like, do I need an overcoat? I don't want an overcoat. It's supposed to be hot. So is that a way of getting around it? It's a good kick from Jordan Hendrickson. In fact, a very good kick. A lot of meters on it. Currently 17 points difference between these two sides. A lot less than 43-12 for Bordeaux. Cufflinks. What do you get on your cufflinks? Is it just anything? Or just, you know? I have buttons. Does that count as cufflinks? What's the wedding's theme? Wedding. I don't actually think it's got a theme. I think we're just going away. It's on a golf course. Perhaps I should get a couple, like, little golf cufflinks. Could be an idea. Sharks finna lose this game. The bow tie and a top hat. I cannot get away with the top hat. That's going to be stolen now by the Sharks at line-out time. Now back across to the left here. Francois Fenta in the middle of the field. This is the chance for the Sharks, but they need a try and they need it soon. I can just feel an interception coming soon. I don't know. I feel like that is a chance. Good run from Vincent Teshuka. Oh, counter-up coming from Toulouse. Not working out. Dylan Richardson now. Big shot on him. Marriage license is the wedding theme. Bordeaux Bulldogs hammering the Chiefs now. Says Eric now in behind. Jaden Hendrickson passes short to Francois Fenta. That killed the momentum of the move. And Mulvak is over the ball and gets the penalty. Tie pin. 89 Munster versus Saracens. I am not. No, we are doing Castra versus Bulls as our next game, which is going to be in around 3.5 hours' time. Ball lost again here in the breakdown from Toulouse. The slippery ball is causing problems. Ethan Hooker kicking it downfield. Little bit of pressure, but Ramos puts in the hard yards to then be able to boot that ball into Dutch. People actually thought Sharks would win, says R. Hamish, you can tee off and show your disco dancing moves. A hot bridesmaid, says Ruth. Honestly feel sorry for South African clubs. Think it's a financial thing, says HH. A tie pin. So you need a tie pin for a bow tie. Or is a tie pin for if you got a tie? First name of a rugby player, Tai Tuimanga. Big boy. Prop for Samoa. But now another change. Prop coming onto the field. By the looks of it, it's going to be Drea on the field for Oxnish here. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at scrum time now. 22 minutes left, and honestly, the Sharks, other than the fact that they haven't scored a try, which I think will annoy them a little bit, but they still aren't doing terribly at the moment. The way that this game sits, that was nowhere near straight. So now Toulouse have managed to take this ball back. Julien Marchand is on the field. Lorenzo Julius also on the field for Hooker. Kicking it up high here for Antoine Dupont. Nicely taken by Jaden Hendricks. A lot of pressure on Jordan, but manages to handle it. There's a lot of tackles that are being made only just in this game. Are you doing the later match tomorrow, or the Leinster match, I think that is? I'm hoping to anyway. Work will be a little bit tricky with it, but we're hoping to still be able to cover it anyway. Now Toulouse with a pick and go. Oh, drop ball again by Netty. There's just been too many knock-ons in this game. This could have been such a free-flowing one if everyone could just hold the ball. Yapenke's looked for an offload. Hasn't worked out. Now gets it away to Makazole Mapimpi. It's going to be tackled well. Back across to the left-hand side here. Sharks with the possession 40 metres out from their own line. Bradley Davids goes back. Jordan Hendrickson decides to go for the up and under cross kick. It's going to be very nicely taken by Roman Intamak, who's looking for the 50-22 of his own, and he gets it. That is brilliant from the Toulouse fly half. That looked like Jaden Hendrickson slamming the ball as if to say, what were we supposed to do there? Just kicking away the possession, Jordan Hendrickson, hoping that Toulouse would make the mistake, but they are too strong and go, nah, thank you. We'll have that one. Now another attacking chance here for Toulouse. This is where Labelle will score. We've said it the whole match. He was my first try scorer of the first half. He was my first try scorer of the second. He hasn't scored yet, but cross kick or something, and it's going straight into him. Hopefully. Well, no, actually not a cross kick, because last time I said it was a cross kick, and they actually got the cross kick wrong. Here comes Julio Moshai. He's knocked the ball on again. So many drop balls in this match. Now kick downfield from Francois Fent. Awkward bouncing ball, and it goes out. Brilliant kick there. Ramos will not take it quickly by the looks of it. I would pay any money for someone to make Antoine shut the F up. I'm bored of hearing about him, says Robert. I don't think Antoine Dupont really talks that much, though. So you should be shutting everyone up for talking about him rather than himself. I haven't heard him speak that often. And back it's top class, says Eric. And Toulouse are the best kick return team in the tournament, says Jimbo. And Sharks box did not pitch up at all. So Netty will make his way off the field. That is for Cyril Boy, so not exactly a bad change to have few international players off the bench. You see the difference in class, Money French Military Academy versus dry hard work. Thrown in. Oh, well done. Only just getting that one for Toulouse. They still only have 2 tries. They want 4 for that bonus point. If they don't get it, Bordeaux will take the top. And that could be a big difference maker. Little chipper behind, attempted by Antoine Dupont. Oh, ball was loose. But Hendrickson picks it up. Looks for the offload. That's going to be knocked on from the Sharks. Then knocked on by Toulouse. And it's going to be another scrum now for the away side. Yemen Carter. She loves Dupont. He's a good player though, says Drape. But yeah, it's just become a very... Oh, Belbarré has scored again. 48 points on the board now for Bordeaux. That's a pretty significant margin. Don't think I'll watch the highlights, says Jamie Hall. Other than 2 tries, we haven't seen too many highlights, although there's been a few good runs around the place as well. And now we've got another scrum. We had a lot of scrums. If you love scrums, you'll love this game. Because we've seen about 16 handling errors between the 2 sides. And I don't think that's all of them for this match. I think we're going to see a few more as well. Right, Bordeaux have brought up the 50, so they're certainly trying to increase their points differential in this one. So Toulouse actually just have to win this game by quite a significant margin, and they have given away a penalty at scrum time. He started to scrum, then he got on his knees, says the referee. And Toulouse still need 2 tries to stay ahead of Leinster and Bordeaux to be top of the log, says Eric. That is correct, yes. So Bordeaux are flying at the moment. They have got themselves a 50 points to 12 lead. This is how the table's set. So Bordeaux, if they win their game by 50 points... that kick didn't find touch from the Sharks. Again, another mistake. But yeah, if they don't get themselves a massive win here to lose, Bordeaux might actually overtake them. Little chipper behind. Hendrickson waits for the bounce of the ball, and he does actually get it in the end. Wasn't the smoothest one in the world, but the possession is there now for the Sharks. More drop balls. And old boys boarding house and another knock on. Now the point inside of the 22. The advantage will be over. Just looking for the touch line, and the ball's going to slowly drift over. Great kick from Dupont again. The Boks are on holiday at the Sharks. Are they waiting for the June series? Here's Angie. To lose the best team in the tournament, they've got to be top 3 easily. Oh no. Bordeaux is, tell you what, Bordeaux are coming for it. 55 points to 12. They are leading that game by 43 points. Another try, Mathieu Jalabert, the man who scored it. They're really trying to put the pressure on. At 28 degrees Celsius, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and 84% humidity. This probably explains the knock-on from the French tourists, but also the knock-ons from the Sharks as well. We can't forget that they have dropped the ball a lot too. And Dupont needs to focus. A couple more changes look like they are being made. Dupont, is he about to make his way from the field? No, Lebel comes off, and Capuzio does come on. It did seem like the most likely one in terms of switches that they would have made. And that is due to Lebel just not getting the ball enough throughout this game, I don't think. Big kick from Ramos for all the Dupont haters. Best thing going against Dupont is the amount of games and work he does. Overtrained body at risk of breakdown. Says HH, no wages for the Sharks for this game. Absolutely useless. Says Tobo. Yeah, I assume that's Tobo. They're going to be returning fire with a kick of their own. Khaleesi's off the field, and that is for Hatton, the youngster. Now, Pinkett goes across to Jaden Hendrickse, and that's off the side of the boot. Goes into touch. And Leinster with Jen Pollard, also top team. And the other Sharks are getting spanked, says Usta, although they aren't doing as badly, I will mention, as some people thought that they would. So that's something, at least. I've just said they're disjointed, and that's probably a very good way of describing not just the Sharks, but Toulouse in this game. They haven't worked well with each other. We saw Kinghorn score on the Bell's wing, and we saw Miafu crash over for the other try. But we haven't seen that classic Toulouse backline that you normally would expect. There's been a lot of kicking the ball away, which is a risk, because when you need a bonus point, you can't afford to just give the possession back to your opposition. But it looks like now Toulouse are starting to really get that rolling ball moving. Antoine Dupont gets the offload to Jack Willis, finds another offload. Dupont going across here. Now it's starting to get that backline that I was calling for. Now wide to Blair Kinghorn. And the Chiefs have exited, says HH. Run from Merklich, I believe it was. And that number 18 jersey. Or Merkler, I should say. Or trying to steal that ball, and he's got the penalty. Trevor Nakanye locking over. Oh, there's another try for Bordeaux. Now, Lorenzo Julius dodges one, gets it away to Makazole Mapimpi, who's hit high and who was asking for the penalty before he'd even reached the ground. Blair Kinghorn not happy about that one. Oh, big shot on Makazole Mapimpi. He ran straight at a tight head prop and got driven backwards big time. Now Davids goes across there. Jaden Hendrickse going to Emmanuel Chichuka. And Hamish, they heard you. Sharks are tired, says Drape. I think both of these sides are fatigued, but it's who can push through for this last 15 minutes. The Sharks, to be honest, they aren't completely out of this game if they can score some points soon. Lorenzo Julius, another offload. Sharks in open space, but he does get the offload to Julius, who will run it in for the try, and the Sharks are on the board. The impact of Julius off the bench scores the try, and the Sharks have a bit of hope here. I don't understand why Captain 50 metres, Captain Child Support was substituted. It's not like he only plays half a game every game he's picked. It's not like his team finds himself behind, says Power Bite. And Lorenzo, you beauty, says Lilia B. Can the Sharks get more points? When was the last time they looked like scoring? Well, they certainly answered to that. They decided to go in, scored themselves a try. And Lorenzo Julius, super sub. We mentioned about it earlier on, the impact that he can bring, and he has certainly brought just that. Come on, Sharks. Half a chance. there could be a comeback. Hendrikse has missed it away to the side, so the score remains with a 12-point difference between these two sides. Immediate impact, says Eric. Yeah, he's touched the ball about 3 or 4 times already, and each time that he's had it, he has just looked like he's going to be able to create something for the Sharks team. Hopefully that'll boost the Sharks' confidence now, says Lilia B. And need a big 10 minutes now, says Jamie. And it looked like they were tiring, but now it seems like Julius has actually helped them find a bit more gas in the tank. Taking some deep breaths now, though, Julius. He's feeling that. And hopefully they'll boost the Sharks' confidence now, says Lilia B. And so exciting, says Martin. It looks like Makazole Mapimpi is about to make his way off the field. Francois Cruz just letting the referee know that he's making his way from the field. And Ethan Hooker will make his way back on. That is due to an HIA for Makazole Mapimpi, the boogeyman, says Lizette, and 13 points in 10 minutes. Doubt it. Says Bruce, it's only 2 tries. How many times have we seen 2 tries scored in 5 minutes? Look at Bordeaux. They got 62 points on the board. And yes, they aren't playing the same team. Or counter-up coming from Toulouse. The wake-up call I think that they needed. And Capuzio. Now flicking it out the back door. I think Dupont's off the field now. France have decided to make that change and give the youngster Grial the opportunity. Oh no, sorry. Dupont's still on. Grial's on the field for Kinghorn. Now Toulouse. Need a couple big tries. I don't understand this. Kept him 50 minutes. It's the greatest player ever. How does this team fight back after he's already off? Says Power Bite. Well, it might have been a move that they assumed that they were almost out anyway, but also, you know, they're looking at the future. He's not going to be there next year. So you need to look at those guys like Hatton, who's on the field now. Like, yes, this game is crucial for their season, but at the same time, you need to look towards the future, not just a guy that won't be there next year. What has DuPont done the whole game, says Rugby Hub? So he's had 1 try assist. I believe he's had 3 clean breaks. He's beaten, I think I saw at halftime, he beat like 5 defenders. So he's been busy. He's been involved in a lot out there on the field. And he's probably going to get himself man of the match as well. Here comes DuPont down the wing, looking for the offload on the inside. He's just given the ball to the Sharks, though. That is probably his biggest error that he's had throughout this whole match. Although Toulouse locking themselves over the ball, wanting that turnover, can't get it. So he just came onto the game, says Rugby Hub. No worries at all. But yeah, he had a busy first half. There was a little patch where he didn't do a huge amount, but other than that, you know, he's been doing his normal thing. Where's Grant and Fussy? Grant's out for personal reasons. Fussy's out due to injury. People talking about South African teams not having enough money. Sharks are owned by Zotis, bottomless pockets. You just wanted that offload. I think Juan Cruz Malia was actually calling for that ball, but wasn't where DuPont wanted to flick it. 10 minutes remaining in this match. Still only 2 tries here for Toulouse. The Sharks have held their own in this game. Toulouse, I have to say, they've been a little bit of their own worst enemy. Looks like Jordan Hendrickson now is going to make his way off the field, and that is going to be for Siamasuku, I believe. As not money, it's management. Oh no, in fact, it's going to be once again that young number 15, Kunini, who makes his way back on. And also, I do see that there is another change that has been made. It's going to be Labaskhachny, makes his way on for Jason Jenkins. And the rest of the Sharks forgot to arrive. Here's Neville. Aurélien Marchand with the line-out throw for Toulouse. They know that they need this bonus point, but sometimes when you're so concentrated on fully going for it and trying to get try after try, Jordan off, bad move from the Sharks. He's off for an HIA. So they didn't have a choice. Now going off to the right-hand side. Oh, loose ball picked up by the Sharks and kicked downfield. It's going to be a foot race, but the Sharks, they only have a lock chasing. So it's going to be won easily by Ramos, who gives it off to Dupont. Kicks it downfield. Handling error there from Ethan Hooker. Liam McDonald management dramas, eh? And there's still a money cap on all franchises in South Africa. Makes it hard to compete regardless of how much money your big boss has. So here's Alex, all ball stolen in the breakdown from Toulouse again. Dupont knocks it on under pressure. And it's another scrum. I'll tell you what, red card for Tulfa in the game between Bordeaux and Exeter Chiefs. 62 points to 17. Now the score, Marcus Smith or Sasha, depends on the game. And depends on who's around them too. We've got to remember both those guys have individual brilliance, but depends on who's in that back line alongside them. Dupont a good player, but way too overrated. Says Sandra. Pauwart Khaleesi is a great leader of the troops, like Schmidt and Pienaar was, but nowhere near top 5, 6 flanks of South Africa. And well said, Alex Hatting. Says Sandra there too. The knock on now. The crowd are believing that there's still half a chance for the Sharks to get themselves a bonus point here. And if they do, Toulouse will be livid. Like the fact that at the moment, it's looking like Toulouse, maybe if they're lucky, will score 3 tries here. There is no way of looking at this game as a dominating one for this Toulouse side. They've been pushed. And they've also been their own worst enemy at times too. Imagine having Shoka Perez outside of you. I like Argentina number 10. Says HH, and bonus points still on. Need a converted try. Says Eric, they need 2 converted tries. For the Champions Cup format, you do need yourself 4 tries rather than 3 or more than your opposition. So they would need 2 tries in 8 minutes. And they haven't got the scrum feed. Twan is worth every euro. He's brilliant. Says Ruth. I mentioned the next game that we are covering will be starting in 3 hours' time, ladies and gentlemen. That'll be the match between Castres and the Bulls. And players in general are always on the lookout to go overseas because of problems for South African clubs. Dupont is 28, says HH. Peak is 31. Right, we're about to get the scrum reset. I think that, if they get a bonus point, yeah, they'll be pretty happy with that. I wouldn't mind having some of the Sharks B team at my team. Says Gleason. Now, ready to feed it in. The Sharks stayed at the hotel and sent the Pilchards to play. Now a free kick to the Sharks here. Lorenzo Julius, the X Factor, the game changer. Got himself the try. Can he get himself another Yapinka? Good shot coming in on Pepsi Buthelezi, who's driven down to the ground. They're still playing a bit of Coldplay while this game is going on. The DJ fell asleep. Oh, almost the steal. That was round the neck of Hoodie Monchon. He was not happy about it. Are they going to play the whole of this song? It sounds like they are going to. Quick hands on the outside. Maybe it's helping the Sharks. Oh, knock on. Another one has gone forward. But the penalty to the Sharks. Right, okay, they're going to check something, though, by the sounds of it. They're going to see whether or not Julio Monchon... Okay, if it's not a clear knock-on, it's for holding on. It's going to be the knock-on, though, I believe. Yes, it is. So the scrum is going to go the way of Toulouse. A long time no see, it's Charles Jameson. Welcome back. Keep him well. And France are just doing the best to throw this game away, says Rugby Hub. I don't know how the Sharks could make a comeback if they had 17 players on the field, says Kevin. Sharks are still digesting their turkey and Christmas pud. They're not interested in the slightest, says Rogan Rich. Now 6 minutes remaining. Just one more try. Well, 2 more tries. They need 2, don't they? One more would help them, I guess, feel a little bit more confident. Antoine Dupont meters made 121, which is 60 more than any other player in this game. I just said there, out of the 14 clean breaks in this game, Dupont's got about 6 or 7 of them. Now, big scrum. Ball pops out the back for Gelange, who's starting to take some hard strides. Going for the box kick, kicking it up and under. What a sub to have it. Hooker Marchand for Molvaka. Both men going up for the ball. It's going to be grubbed forward, and the ball was in touch, they've said. So it's going right back to where it was kicked from, and the Sharks again have got themselves another line out. It's mistake after mistake from Toulouse. We're both in touch. Are we going to fall short? We are up there with the best. This is going to allow Bordeaux to go into first place on the table, which could give them a home final if these sides make it that far. And that can be the difference. Disappointed by the Sharks, says Massive. We'll call you. 5 minutes remaining for the Sharks to either get a bit further into this game. Well, it wasn't the straightest line out, but it is going to be all right. Looking to maul a little bit further forward. Looking well set. Bradley Davids goes across there to Francois Fenton behind Jaden Hendrickson. Just a little bit of hesitation there. Another kick in behind from Ethan Hooker, and it goes into touch. Just playing the territory game at the moment, the Sharks. I don't understand how players are still saying, or people are saying, 14 stopping the quick throw. Yapinke gets himself penalised. A really dumb move as Toulouse now get a free exit from their own 22. If you tried to lose, they would win. And he will be probably, Winnie will probably be man of the match, says Grant. And not going to lie, I expected France to win by 30. A lot of people did. But the Sharks, they've held their own in this match. Oh, and that one hasn't found touch. Yapinke makes up for his mistake by keeping that ball alive. Bradley Davids now 4 minutes left. Toulouse cannot, I believe, get a bonus point at this stage, but the Sharks certainly still can. Trying to get that turnover in the breakdown here. They have to be patient. They've still got the win here to lose. Ball's available. Bradley Davids goes back across there again to Jaden Hendrickson, who's taken on that fly half roll. Again, the grubber. I don't know what the obsession is. That's going to be an accidental offside there. Luke Pearce says play on, but if they do go back for that, it will be a knock-on into a offside. But it doesn't seem like they're actually going to check it. So I guess it is going to be play on just for now, but they have missed that one. Now Lorenzo Julia, what's up with the kicking here from the Sharks? They're obsessed with trying to kick this ball out in this last stage. Like, they don't have time to do this. They have to score tries and score it quickly. Yes, it's going to force Toulouse back more, but they're doing quite well. I generally thought the Sharks would win, says Benjamin. I mean, the question could be who thought the Sharks would be within 12, and that's not many people, but here they are with half a shot of getting a bonus point up against Toulouse, who have looked far from perfect in this game. Oh, Miafu gets man of the match for his original try. Right, they're 10 metres out from their own line here, Toulouse. They will once again just have to look to clear their lines. This is all using up time that the Sharks do not have. And it's a good exit into touch. Brilliant kick. 120 seconds remaining. Robert gets him out, buddy. Says right. So the Sharks need to score twice, once to get the bonus point. Yeah, they would just sneak in to that bonus point. Damien Pinot has scored a hat-trick in the game up against Exeter. Like they've said, a win away from home is a good win. They'll take the win by 12 if they can. Toulouse aren't the record European Club Champions holders for nothing, says Mark. And proud of the Sharks, they kept France. Oh, it's overthrown and France have taken the ball back. Or should I say Toulouse. Last chance to add some points on the board here. Intermac going on the outside. Quick hands from the French. Ange Capuzio just keeps it alive. Sharks with a two-man and they steal it again in the breakdown. Being dangerous. And it does come to that, but now they will have to try and kick this one towards the touchline. Ramos and DePont, very good game management. Right, they're kicking it downfield. It's going to go dead. It's gone dead, and they'll go right back to where it was kicked from, which is about 60 metres down the field. Massive mistake again from Jaden Hendrickson. Thought it was worth a crack. I wonder if Toulouse would just kick this ball into touch. They've got 30 seconds remaining in this game. Would they just boot this out and claim a 12-point win, or would they go for one last attack? get that points differential up slightly more. I feel like that's something that they should, but I don't know if they will. I'd like to see them have one last crack. Just because, Bordeaux are winning their game by 52 points. You want to get as many extra points as you can, definitely when you're going head-to-head with them next week. Every great team needs a 9, 10, 15 combo, and Toulouse have one of the best. So here's Eric. Right, so we're about to find out. There's the full-time siren. Is there a little bit of extra attack coming from Toulouse, or are they going to boot it out? I think they might just end it. It's been a frustrating one for them, but a win is a win, but it has been nowhere near as comfortable as many predicted. But Dupont kicks it out, and Toulouse will win this game by 12 points. There is disappointment on their faces. 20 points to 8 in the end. But it is the win. They won, but messy, yeah. Far from a strong Toulouse performance. Their handling let them down. The penalty count let them down. The Sharks, they didn't have their best game either, but they hung in there. And that's the main thing. Well done, the Sharks, says Jimbo. And at least the Sharks have got experience in being spectators, says Neville. But yeah, to lose by 12 up against a side like Toulouse, even if it's your home game, you're probably still not completely disappointed with how that one's gone. But nonetheless, the next game that we are going to be covering on the channel, ladies and gents, will be kicking off at 9 a.m. New Zealand time. And that is going to be the one between Castra and the Bulls. We are going to be covering it right from the kickoff. Well, 5 minutes before we will be live. So that is in 2 hours, 40 minutes time that one will be taking place. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.